Although born as photographic cameras, the Canon R6 Mark II and the Canon R7 are excellent choices for those who want to work in the video field. I have been using my R7 for more than 2 years now and my R6 Mark II since the last December. What distinguishes these two cameras? What each one excels in compared to the other, and why, and in which case I will recommend to use either the R6 Mark II or the R7. Let's find out in this video. For those who don't know me, my name is Stefano and I am a videographer and photographer from the Italian Alps. On this channel I want to share with you what is not only my job, but also my biggest passion: video making and photography. If you don't want to miss any content that I will upload on this platform, be sure to subscribe and to activate notifications. And yes, I know that my English is not perfect, so if something is not clear, please let me know in the comment section below. I will be happy to explain it to you. Those who understand a little about the photo and video world will know that the R6 Mark II and the R7 are two very similar cameras. Both can record up to 4K, 50 or 60 FPS, both can record in C-Log3, both have two SD slots, and both use the same kind of batteries. I dare say that, excluding a few details, they are the same camera, except for the sensor. In fact, the biggest difference between the R7 and the R6, both the Mark I and Mark II, is the dimension of the sensor. In the first one, the sensor is an APS-C, which is the equivalent kind of the Super 35 sensor. Meanwhile, in the R6, the sensor is a full frame. And here we come back to the already heard discussion of the difference between a full frame and an APS-C sensor. Being a bigger sensor, the full frame, for the same amount of pixels, will have more space to contain the light. This means a better ISO resistance and a greater sharpness. Now, let's be clear, the R7 has a very good ISO resistance, but we have to admit that with the R6 Mark II we are on another planet. Now, excluding an obvious economic aspect, why should someone choose the R7 instead of a full-frame camera? I think there are two big advantages: the lightness and the stabilization. Speaking about the weight, the R7 is in fact lighter than the R6, but both have the same dimensions, so the R7 is as bulky as the R6. To look at them, they would seem to be the same camera. And I have to admit that in this case I think that Canon has made a little mistake. The advantage of choosing for a camera with this type of sensor lies in the compactness of those kind of mirrorless. If you produce an APS-C camera which is equal in dimensions to a full-frame one, where are the advantages? Only in weight. However, if you use APS-C lenses that are smaller than full-frame ones, the camera will be in fact a little bit smaller than a full-frame camera with full-frame lenses. But if you, like me, use always full-frame lenses, even if you are shooting on an APS-C sensor, you will not take this advantage. Speaking about stabilization, both these cameras can stabilize your clip very well. However, as you can obviously imagine, the R7 having a smaller sensor will give to you a smoother mechanical stabilization. If you are entering now in the video world, as I said in another video, you will probably discover that APS-C sensors, which are almost like the Super 35 sensor that you can find in a lot of cinema camera, like the FX30 from Sony or the C70 from Canon, can give to your shot a very cinematic look. However, if you are looking for the maximum versatility from your gear, I have to admit that there is not a combination that is such versatile as a full-frame camera combined with a 24-70mm lens. Even if An APS-C camera with a 16 to 35mm lens can be a lot versatile. The R7 is a camera that I'm very fond of because it's the camera with which I've started working. But I have to admit that to this day it defends it very well. It can give to you a very good quality, both on photo and videos. In fact, I am shooting right now this frame with an R7 combined with a 24 to 70mm. So, if I like the R7 so much, why I use a full-frame camera, a Canon R6 Mark II, as my first camera today? The first one, as I've said before, is the extreme versatility that you can get combining a 24 to 70mm lens with a full-frame camera, working a lot on the mountains or in conditions in which I cannot change my lens often. Having a combination camera and lens that can offer to me the most amount of type of shots is a very cool thing. I am a huge fan of wide-angle lenses, and with a full-frame camera I am able to take the most from a 16mm, for example, or a similar lens. But then, when I recommend a camera over the other? The Canon R6 Mark II is an excellent camera for both photo and video world. However, being a full-frame camera, if you use it in video production, it will give a more photographic look than cinematic one, leading to a more scattered image and a less clear subject if you use it poorly. However, if you are a videographer with a lot of experience and you already know a lot about this field, you will probably not have this kind of problem. But if you are a beginner videographer, I will suggest you to try using an APS-C or a Super 35 camera, because you can get a cinematic look, in my opinion, a little bit easier. The R6 Mark II has a higher power consumption, it weighs a little bit more, and if combined with full-frame lenses, it will be more bulky than an R7 combined with APS-C optics. However, as I've told you before, I don't think there is a better combination, speaking about versatility, than an R6 Mark II or a full-frame camera combined with a 24 to 70 lens. On the other side, the R7 brings with it all the advantages of a camera with a smaller sensor. It's lighter, the stabilization is better, and if you combine it with APS-C lenses, it will be less bulky and more compact. However, nowadays, the choices if you want to use RF lenses are not a lot, speaking about APS-C optics. The R7 is a great solution if you are looking for that kind of cinematic look that a Super 35 sensor can give to you. It consumes a lot less battery than the R6 Mark II, however, it has also all the disadvantages that smaller sensors have, especially the resistance at high ISOs, especially if you are shooting in log. Speaking about color profiles, if you are looking for two cameras to combine to match that have similar colors, the R7 and the R6 are a wonderful solution. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that this video has been useful to you. Please let me know in the comment section below if you have ever tried those two cameras and which one have you preferred. If you don't want to miss any other content that I will be uploading on this platform, be sure to subscribe to my channel and to activate the little bell. See you in the next video. Ciao!